Hi. Yes, you read the title right. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to face exam anxiety. No. I'm not going to be talking about what is exam anxiety because I think by now we have all become a part of exam anxiety. I mean, when I look back from my personal experiences, I can say that I have been through exam anxiety for the longest period of time. And to be honest, I believe that a lot of us, like most of us, have been through that phase. So we don't need to define what exam anxiety is because that has already built up inside us. And it has built up inside us so many times that there's no looking back. We know what exam anxiety is. But from my personal experience, I have seen this thing that exam anxiety is one of the worst things that can happen to a person. So, today I'm going to be talking to you all about how you can overcome exam anxiety because there are 5 steps that I'm going to be discussing with you, and I can say that these are foolproof because these have happened to me in the past, and therefore I can talk about it extensively. So, the first thing that you need to do in order to overcome exam anxiety is you need to accept it. Acceptance is the first step because when you accept that yes, there is exam anxiety, you can go to the next step that I'm going to talk about. And you see, it's like a chain. All these 5 things that I'm going to talk to you about, they are interlinked. And when you club them together, you'll see that they are related to each other. The first tip is related to the last one, the second is related to the third one, and so on and so forth. So, as I said, the first tip is acceptance. Accept the fact that there is exam anxiety that you are facing. Now, tell me one thing, is exam only limited to the exams that we write while we are in school or in college or in university? Doesn't life take exams daily? Like in my case, I've seen this thing that my life is still taking so many exams because it has been throwing so many challenges. And I'm sure life throws challenges to all of you. And therefore, we cannot say that exam anxiety is only limited to school, college, or university. It's much more than that. And we are facing that anxiety on a regular basis. So let's consider that it is an exam only that we are facing right now also. Coming to the second tip for overcoming exam anxiety, you have to change your POV. By POV, I mean point of view. You see, anxiety is generally related with negative things. So, anxiety is equal to a negative POV. But why don't we just change it into a positive POV? I mean, what I'm trying to say, listen me out. Whenever you have exam anxiety, try to think of it from a positive point of view and not a negative point of view. When you have already accepted the fact that yes, there is exam anxiety, think about it like this, that it is there because I worked hard. I put in efforts. I literally put in a lot of sincerity and hard work. I did my best to be able to succeed in that exam. When you think of it like that, you will agree that yes, there is exam anxiety because I worked hard for it and now I'm expecting results. See, no matter how much we say that you should not expect, we do expect a lot, and we have the right to expect. When we have worked so hard, when there is so much sincerity, I think working hard and gaining or succeeding in our expectations is very much a right. So, the second thing, as I said, is take it from a positive point of view. Do not look at exam anxiety more specifically from a negative point of view. Because you see, if you look at it from a negative point of view, obviously it's going to harm you. You're going to be sad. And maybe you'll just never get out of that loop. So, it's very necessary that you look at it from a very positive point of view. Now, the third tip is the most interesting tip for me, and honestly, I've done that so many times. You know, that feeling when anxiety just starts creeping in. What I used to do and what I still do is I literally run to my parents because I live with my parents. I have that luxury. I run to my parents and I just start talking about random funny things that are happening around me. It could be a very funny film, it could be a funny show that's being aired on television, and so many funny things that are happening around us. I simply start talking to my parents about random funny things. And let me tell you, I have benefited from that so much, because the more I have talked to my parents about these random funny things, that moment when anxiety was just starting to creep in, it completely vanished. In a second, it vanished. And I mean, when I used to come back after talking to them to my room, I would be like, I was going to think about anxiety only. But then all of a sudden, I went to my parents and I found so much comfort in those words, in those randomly funny things that we were talking about. So I believe that, if you have someone around you, like your parents or your friends, or maybe if there's no one around you, just say for like, just for instance, for the time being, if there's no one around you, pick up that phone and dial your friend's number, dial your parents' number, dial any loved one's number, and just talk to them. Believe me, you will be so happy after that conversation. You will be like, what is anxiety? I was literally going to face that. This is so much easy. You will be relieved of a lot of tension. So this is very important. Talk to a loved one, and not maybe, it will for sure reduce your stress and your tension to a very great level. Mental health is very important, and we need to nurture our mental health. Okay, so whenever you are facing anxiety, please just talk to your loved ones, because it will actually help. Try it out. Coming to the fourth tip, I have seen this thing and I am sure you will all agree with me a lot. Whenever anxiety starts to creep in, do one thing. Even if you are good at it, even if you are bad at it, it doesn't matter. Just go sing, just start dancing to any tune, just start painting, or maybe just writing something. Because when you engage your mind in doing a fun activity, anxiety will never affect you, because you're giving your energy and your time to a fun activity. So it is very important to engage in a fun activity, so that you can stay away from that period of time wherein anxiety or exam anxiety is plaguing you. Don't let that plague you. Do a fun activity, and I can say hopefully it will actually make you feel better, a lot better. The final tip, and I think I'm gonna end with this tip only, because if this tip is there, all the other tips that I've talked about previously are literally going to culminate into a very beautiful thing, and you will actually be very happy. The last but the most important tip is, you have to have that mentality that I'm going to overcome my exam anxiety. You have to have that mentality. You have to have that mentality of protecting yourself. See, doing all these steps that I just talked about before will only be possible when you start thinking about the fact that I am going to look after myself. I'm going to take care of myself. Start taking care of yourself, guys. It's very easy and it's very beautiful. There's a big life out there. And honestly, exam anxiety is something which is inevitable. You cannot run away from it. I cannot run away from it. No one can. But something that is inevitable is not something that you can run away from. And if there is something that you cannot run away from, deal with it. Deal with it in a very healthy way, in a very strong manner. Prove to everyone, prove to yourself that I'm a very strong person. And no matter how much anxiety is there in my life, I'm going to face it. I'm going to face it head on. So I guess I talked about exam anxiety enough with all of you. I hope it helps you. I hope it benefits you, because it did benefit me. Also, I want to mention one thing. If you have any queries regarding this topic, or even if in general you have any queries, you can always drop in your comments in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you like this video. Thank you.